I have had the privilege of working with and for, and I know them by name, 12 committed professional leaders who frankly let me do my job. I'd like to acknowledge George Judge, Kevin McKelvey, Juliet Perticchese, Gary Giannino, and Joe Impemba, the board in '99 that hired me to come back to Burlington. Since that time, I've had elected leaders Sonia Rollins, Al Fay, Walter Zenkin, who's my current chairman, Ralph, who you heard speak earlier, Mr. Patuto, Dan DiTucci, who helped organize a lot of this stuff here tonight, and I appreciate that, Dan. Dan Grattan, who's our newest member, and Bob Hogan. To all of them, I owe a world of thanks for letting me do my job. To anyone in this business, and I see some of my peers in here, and thank you all for coming, other managers and administrators in surrounding towns, a supportive board, and they know this as I know this, is the key to any success an administrator or a manager may have. We have always had in this community a team approach, and Ralph alluded to some of that earlier. And I thank you all for your understanding, your counsel, and trust in my professional abilities, especially when we had to make some very difficult decisions. Remember the perfect storm? That was a tax increase that I was not proud of. The landlocked parcel, the ICE issue, the health insurance issue, it goes on and on and on. And for those of you who aren't in an elected position and don't understand the stress that those folks go through in making those decisions, you just don't get it. That is not an easy thing to do. But they have always been supportive of my decisions to move forward on very difficult decision-making issues. I could not have performed my job without you, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for all of you and what you give back to the community. Okay, I get it. They also negotiate my contract, but this has nothing to do with that. Trust me, guys, trust me. Again, a heartfelt thank you for allowing me to do my job, the job I still love doing. My staff. You all know the statement, and I'll play on this a little bit. Behind every successful man, that's not being politically correct, I get that, there is a strong woman. Well, I say there's a staff. I can honestly say, and with my peers who are here, and I'm sure they would concur, without the caliber of professionalism and competence in our staff here in Burlington, I would not have enjoyed whatever success I have had here in Burlington, and they have collectively kept me out of trouble through their counsel, advice, and at times given me the equivalent of a dumb slap and say, Bob, what are you thinking? And I've heard that from a number of people, but the reason you accept those is because it's from people you respect. All these department managers make this community a joy to manage, and please understand, I know to those managers your value more than you do to this community. Thank you. You know, I've always felt that as a manager or administrator, you owe it to the community that employs you to surround yourself with incredibly competent people. Yes, those people who are as talented and able to want your job someday. Don't fight that fear we all have. Embrace it. Those people are going to save you in whatever profession you're in. To me, loyalty and commitment to your job responsibilities are critical to any organization's success. I've been privileged to work with so many people who exhibit these traits, and I will treasure the support they have provided to me as I begin my Travelocity hotwire career. My wife Rose has been all over the internet. Where do you want to go this? What do you want to do? Let's get the best price. I'm like, whoa, slow down. To all the boards, committees, town meeting members, Ways and Means, residents, and business partners, thank you all for the understanding, cooperation, probing questions you sometimes ask, respect for my role, patience in my not returning your calls within a few hours, and obvious pride in the town we call Burlington. Realize that you are making a direct and meaningful contribution to making Burlington the place it is today. Understand your key role in shaping the town's future and embrace the challenge. I know you will succeed. Few thoughts on my job and my retirement. Public service is a noble profession. Whether a town administrator, a school superintendent, a firefighter, a teacher, a clerk, or a public works employee, we should all be proud of the career path we have chosen. Public service at the local level is where the rubber meets the road. Our residents see, touch, and feel the services we deliver. Whether you need a police officer, you go to a parent-teacher conference, you wonder who the heck is plowing the streets all night when you're in bed, you discuss an excise tax bill with a staff person, or want to know who to talk to when your neighbor, that son of a gun, is filling that brook in the back and flooding your property, a public employee is at your service. Yes, we are under fire for a lot of legitimate reasons, and we as a society need to fix the problems, but the basic and essential services you provide will not diminish in the future. Please keep your spirits up, continue to deliver and perform your jobs professionally for the residents of Burlington. I will thank you now for that, and check up on this in about a year through my moles. And I have a few, so be careful. Few words about a town administrator in Burlington. Attributes, traits that I found successful, and they revolve around what I call the dreaded P words. You need to have a passion. I don't just mean, geez, I like my job. You need to be passionate about the demands and the expectations of this job. Otherwise, I believe you'll fail. In short, you need to have a real fire in the belly. People see through phony enthusiasm. You certainly cannot get away with that. In Burlington, our residents demand and expect more. You need to persevere. This is government, after all, and some things take a little longer to get done than in most organizations. You think that's a truism? It is, and I live it. If you continue to be frustrated by the pace of accomplishments and give up the fight, you will not survive in this business. Examples, Grandview Farm is now entering its 10th year. How long have we discussed, and Ralph talked about it, the Terrace Hall sewer replacement? Remodeling schools, remember those battles? You're now seeing 2 schools being built and rebuilt. Yep, perseverance is important for this job. Finally, patience. In government, you'll be blamed for everything. Doesn't matter. We're being blamed for the gas prices right now. I got people complaining to me in the office about, why is gas so high? What do you want me to say? I go to Barica. It's cheaper in Barica. You're always going to deal with folks that will question, and you will question, if they are truly from this planet. But that's part of the job. Deal with it. Yep, you need patience. My retirement. Phil, am I over the 2 minutes? No. All right. You know, since October, I've been thinking a lot, reading a lot, speaking to friends and family, and just wondering, am I making the right decision? Listen up, because you will all go through this same issue. Well, at first I thought, this is it. I'll call Walter, let him know, and it's done. That was okay. My wife said to me, you're ready. You've never talked about retirement until this last couple of months. This is back in October through the summer months and into the fall. So I think you're actually ready. I mean, I used to bite her head off when she'd ask me about retirement. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But she says, you didn't push back on that. So it seems to me you're ready. This guy over here didn't make it easy. As soon as I announced it, he was in the next day. Bob, another offer, more money, blah, blah. I'm like, so he didn't make it any easier on me. I made the announcements, and of course, this being Burlington, I immediately began planning for our January town meeting, which took my mind off the issue for a while because many of you know we have constant town meetings. 3 times a year, 45 or 90 days prior to the next, so you're constantly in a town meeting mode. Of course, to keep my mind sharp and in focus, Mr. Giannino set up a countdown calendar on my desktop to remind me of the days, hours, and seconds ticking down. Thank you very much for that, Gary. Now here it is, we're about 2 months to go, and I'm a bit nervous. You probably noticed that in the beginning. What am I going to do to keep busy? I know I cannot play for the Celts. I know I'm not going to be called upon by my beloved Rolling Stones to help Mick and Keith get through their 70s. I know I cannot write a book about Burlington, because I know too much. And some people would be offended. And I know now I can't take Al's spot as the honorary mayor. So, what will I do? You ready for this? Nothing in the immediate future. Essentially, I'm going to enjoy my time, as my daughter Amy said, and leave all my options open. Am I too young to retire? Well, in some people's minds, yes. In my mind, maybe. But I am going to enjoy some time as I leave this position on June 1st. I'll end this by quoting again something that has resonated with me. And I just recently, and this is Gary to you, just recently played it at home a number of times. My wife is like, what is that? To your great surprise, I'm sure, those of you who know me, it is a song by the Rolling Stones that really does just break down our human condition and speaks to why I originally decided it was time for me to smell the roses and play with my grandchildren. I only have one. Amy, I only have one. I wasn't sure if you heard that. I wasn't in the mic there, but I only have one. That song is called Time Waits for No One, and It Won't Wait for Me. If you're not a Rolling Stones fan, you might want to play it. It's an early one of their hits, and I listen to it over and over, and it resonates. It's pretty basic. It speaks to all of us. I understand time for all of us on this planet is finite, and I've not even begun to prepare my bucket list for the next few years with my friends and family, but I will, and I'll begin the next phase of my life. I have been honored, proud, fortunate, and extremely grateful for the opportunity you have given me to pursue my life's work. I will always have a special place in my heart, cherish the time I have spent in Burlington. I hope in some small way I've made a positive difference in people's lives. So let's enjoy the evening. I have a town meeting to prepare for in May. Thank you very much. I thought he threw me off.